teaching Ewe and More. I'm Amanda, also known as Little Panda 518, and I'm your host today. I would like to welcome any new people jumping on the bandwagon and watching me, or if you are a returning viewer, thank you. I know it's been a bit of a break again. I'm trying, y'all. Life is just life, and if you're sticking around with me, thank you so much. Always know I will be around, just don't know when. Let's see, I can't talk. Let's try that again. Administrative stuff. I will be doing a giveaway once my Ravelry group hits 100 people. And last time I looked a little bit ago, I'm at 99, so yay. Invite your friends. I would love to get the group up and running, get it super chatty in there. I spend quite a bit of my time on Ravelry, and I would love to get a little chatty with y'all. I love doing this podcast and talking to y'all, and I would definitely love to talk with y'all. Along those same lines, VKNs are going strong. We changed up the time a little bit, so we are now starting at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Monday nights. That is co-hosted by Love Knots, Rachel, who is Love Knots from the Love Knots podcast, and myself. We have lots of regulars that jump in, but if you haven't ever been to one, feel free to message me on Ravelry, jump in the Rav group, grab the link. Would love to chat with you. I think that's all the administrative stuff. Yeah, giveaway, Ravelry group, VKN. That sums it up. I think this is going to be a fairly quick one. I know it's been about 3 weeks since I last spoke with y'all, but I haven't had much mojo. I haven't really wanted to knit, haven't really wanted to crochet, not real sure what's going on. So I've done a little here and there, but as you'll see when I'm fixing to show you a couple things, there's not much. So, yep, let's get this thing started. So I guess we will start with work in progress. See, I can't talk, so just please bear with me. It's a Monday. It's the first of the month. Today is August 3rd when I'm recording. The first of the month at work is always completely terrible for me. And I thought it was a grand idea to podcast on Monday afternoon after working. So I meant to do it this weekend, but we all know how that goes. So let's see, my favorite thing. I'm working on my sweater in my lovely sheet bag that I made myself. I know this has grown a little bit since y'all last saw it. There we go, okay. I have my little wire. Oh, there's still yarn connected somewhere. There it is. Oops. Sorry about that. I have my little connector things on my cable. I don't know what these are called, but they keep the stitches from falling off of the cable. So I have, the pattern called for, I think, 21 inches of the body. And I was knitting and I was on a VKN, and one night I just laid it down like this because I went to pick up my cell phone or do something on the VKN. And I'm like, holy cow, this thing is really long. So I stood up, and it's supposed to go under your underarms. And this covers my booty already, and it's not even the full 21 inches long because I forgot to take into consideration how much shorter I am than normal people. So it's a little bit long, but I'm a-okay with that. I did a cardigan as my first sweater on purpose because that way if it doesn't fit exactly, it's okay to have an oversized cardigan. So, not real sure what I did right there. We'll look at that later. So I have the body completely done, so I don't even think I can, can't get that all on the camera. Can't really see anything, so hopefully you guys can see the fabulous colors. This is hand-painted yarn by my most amazing, bestest friend ever, Rachel from Love Knots. She hand-dyed me 9 skeins because I was looking at the pattern. I'm like, oh, this takes quite a bit of worsted weight. So I'm like, okay, well, the pattern calls for 7, so let's just be on the safe side since it was all hand-painted. Let's just do it all at the same time, have a little bit of a buffer, and I think I just hit the 3rd skein. So yeah, body is done. We're just gonna throw that on the floor. take care of that later. And then the other part that y'all haven't seen at all is I have finished one of the sleeves. So once again, I didn't really follow the pattern. Well, let's say I generally followed the pattern for the sleeve. I kept trying it on because it tells you to knit however many inches in the ribbing that matches the bottom of the sweater, and then your increases as you go up the arm, since this is a bottom. That's a reminder. This is the Winter's Tree sweater pattern by Alicia Bright, I think. I don't recall exactly, but it's in my project page. I've tagged it in previous show notes. So I just kind of kept trying it on, and I used her general rule kind of as increases, but I just kind of increased where I felt like I needed to so it would fit my arm better. And this is the third skein, and I have this much of a ball left. It was in a nice pretty cake off of my ball winder until a mischievous little kitten decided to get it. My sweater, my sleeve with the ball had been right here, and I had it all rolled up like this. And I had this, just like here. Oh, let's go that way. Sitting on my coffee table for about 3-4 days. She never once bothered it. One morning, I don't know, it was a weekend. I think it was last weekend. I had gotten up to go to knit group, actually, so it was Saturday. And this yarn was strewn everywhere through the living room. Like, she had a massive, massive heyday with my yarn. So I sat on the couch and I untangled it, and I just hand wound the ball because I wasn't gonna recake it again. So, and I probably have enough out of this ball to get my other sleeve done, and then I should only have to break into skein number 4 to finish off the shoulder decreases and the collar to the sweater. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of yarn left over, so I may make a matching hat. Who knows? I'll figure out something to do with it. So I've got that as work in progress number 1. Work in progress number 2 is in my amazing Rainstorm Studio bag that has cute, adorable pandas on it. Let's see. Oh, that's for later. So I am working on the Viajante. This got a little bit of love since I last talked with y'all. Not a whole lot, but I have now, I'm in the middle of the row because, you know, what podcaster would leave their knitting in the middle of a row? But anywho, so I have officially, I officially joined it in the round. And this is a gorgeous, like, royal purple. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Well, I'm still working on the lighting. Let's see. Well, it's purple. And I am using the Loops and Thread Wool-like. Probably one of my favorite commercial yarns right now in fingering weight. And that fits the budget right now. So that is what I'm working with. So I have that going on. Like I said, as you can tell, haven't had a whole lot going on. I have one more project that I've been working on. And this kind of leads into stash enhancements because I have, oh, they are stuck again. So we're gonna try to do that for later. I'm gonna try to kill time as I try to untangle yarn because, you know, that's always fun. So I have been working on my mommy's socks. She asked for, well, I told her I was gonna make her socks because Mom doesn't really like working with the small needles because she just has trouble with her hands with doing them. And I asked her how tall of a sock she wanted, and she's like, oh, you know, about 5 inches. And I know she likes her socks to kind of stay up on their legs where she's not having to pull them up and down all the time. So I'm doing about 5 inches of a 2x2 ribbing. This is Crystal Panda Palace yarn in the Basil Curry colorway. I'm using Knit Picks needles, and they are a size 1. I think this is my favorite size for needles. These aren't my favorite needles, but they're what I have. So I have leg done on that one, and I'm doing these 2 at a time but on separate needles. So I have the fish kiss lips heel into this one, so yay for heels. It's super soft. This yarn is like 51% bamboo. I know it's about 10% nylon, and then that leaves the rest of it in wool. And it is the softest sock. My mommy's going to be spoiled. So let me look. Yep, that's all my work in progress. So I don't have anything finished. Yeah. Things just haven't been working in that category lately. So that kind of brings me to my other crafts. So, you know, if you're a crafty person, you can't not craft. So I blame this on Sue, Crafty Knitter 7 from Two Tangled Skeins podcast. She was working on a cross stitch for her husband, and I may have joined the bandwagon. Yep. So as you can tell from this, let me see if I can, there we go. I have joined the bandwagon, and I have been working on the Fibery Friends cross stitch. Yep, I haven't cross stitched since high school. So we're going on about 10 years, but I picked it back up like no problem. I had a little bit more done last night, and then I ran into a conundrum, and I was trying to figure out how to fudge it, and I was on VKN, and my friends were like, you know, you're just gonna have to rip it out. And they kept asking me, are you gonna be okay with it being not centered? And I'm like, no, not really. So I eventually got it together and ripped out the whole top part. There was a border thing up here, and I ripped all of that out. So once I get done recording this and hopefully getting it onto the computer, I'm gonna probably go work on getting that put back in. And I started out with one of those circle embroidery hoops. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and it was like a plastic on the outside, but then the inside of it was like just a metal ring, so it was kind of like springy. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing, but I hate that thing. I can't tell you how many times I had popped the cross stitch out of that, and I got fed up, and everyone was talking about Q-snaps. Well, this isn't the Q-snap brand, but this is the frame is Loops and Thread brand from Michaels, and this was probably my best investment for cross stitch ever. So I will definitely, hopefully have this done by the next time I podcast. Hopefully it won't be 3 weeks again, and if it is, who knows? So that's kind of what I'm working on. So that leads to stash acquisitions and yummies, or just goodies, which I have quite a few things, and a lot of it is because I have amazing friends. But this past weekend, I went to a local-ish yarn store with one of the ladies from my local knit group and her daughter. We had a fabulous day. It was about an hour and a half drive down. We spent probably a good 45 minutes, hour-ish at the yarn store, which I hadn't been there before, and she had, so it was kind of nice because she showed me around and we got to talking. And the little store we went to was Knit Unto Others in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And Claire, hi, don't know if you watch, but loved your store. It's nice and cute and quaint. It's in like an old little house, and there's yarn everywhere you turn. Every room there's different yarn, and it was fabulous, and I had such a good time. And I picked up my first MCN. I have never worked with MCN before, and of course it has cat hair on it already. So this is Dream in Color Jilly with Cashmere. So it's an MCN. It's a 70-20-10, and it's got 440 yards. And I felt it, and I was sitting there, and like there was a couple ladies at a table just kind of knitting when we got there, and then the lady had brought her spinning wheel in, and I was standing there and I was petting this yarn, and then I left it there, and I went into another room and looked at some other yarn, And then I was looking at an MCS, and then I went back out and grabbed this one. And Carol, who I was with for my knitting group, I had both in my hand, and I'm like, okay, I don't know which one I want. Help me decide. And she helped me decide on this one, which this is totally my colors. The other one that I was looking at was kind of more of like a purpley pinkish kind of range, but this is definitely kind of my limey greens, the dark greens, into a fantastic teal, which I really hope you guys can see because it's pretty fabulous. So I got that, which I think, Mandy, help me out. Mandy Pinecomb, she's a regular in a VKN, and there's some nights we just VKN together because no one else is around. I think we decided that I may make this into an orchard cowl. Mandy, correct me in the show notes or in the episode thread and Rav if I'm wrong. But I think we decided that I was going to do the orchard lace shawl out of this. So I have that. And then my sole purpose for arranging this little mini road trip to Knit Unto Others is because a few weeks ago I was talking with Sue, of course, in the VKN, and her and Lynn absolutely love their yarnets. And I've been on the ledge. I'm like, it looks really cool, I want it, but I don't want to have to pay shipping. So Sue got in touch with the maker of the yarnet, and she in turn got in touch with Claire of Knit Unto Others, and voila, we got the yarnet in the Knit Unto Others store. So this was pretty much my sole purpose for wanting to go to Knit Unto Others. And of course I just got the black base because if y'all know me, I had to make it my own. So let's see if I can get it. Okay, so we have, of course I had to decorate it. So I have a panda blowing bubbles and a panda dancing and one just standing and then standing upside down, and then I believe that one has the flower, and on the top I've just got some bamboo. Let's see, just some little bamboo shoots. So right now my sock was in here because I wasn't the driver to the yarn store, so I was able to sit and work on my socks occasionally. So of course, why not use your yarnet as soon as you get it? So I was pretty excited. Absolutely love it. Oh, and the other thing that I got while I was there, because, you know, I couldn't pass it up, I got the point protectors from Hiya Hiya. Haven't ever tried their needles, but totally got their point protectors because they're pandas. I saw them and thought they were the most adorable thing ever. Now, the only thing is, if anyone else has these, are yours sticky? Because like mine have stuck together. They have stuck to the inside of my project bag to the point where it's like if I touch it, it's leaving my fingerprint on like the panda's head. And this poor little guy pretty much lost his entire eyeball because he got stuck to the fabric inside my project bag. So I don't know if I just got like an offset or if this is how they are. If any of you guys have these, I would love to know if yours are like that, because I'm not real sure what's going on with them. So my next stash, I'm gonna grab a drink here real quick. Allergies, excuse me. My next stash, because Sarah this time was an enabler, the True Canuck girl from the Canadian Knitter podcast. She, at the beginning of Tour de Fleece, which I'm just kind of a beginner spinner, so I didn't even think about that. Turtle Maid, who does 3D printed spindles, had this like bike spin, like it was like a bike wheel for one of their spindles, and they had a special going on. And you know, shipping from the US to Canada is pretty much outright ridiculous. So Sarah had her stuff shipped to me. Well, that means that, well, I may as well order one too because it's being shipped to my house. So I worked with Sarah and she got my order put in, which I will get yours out in the mail shortly. I'm working on a special project, but it will be in the mail shortly, Sarah. So I haven't played with it yet. I'm like, Sarah doesn't have hers, so I'm gonna be a nice friend. And I know the Celtic, I forgot what it was called. but I'll show you. It's really cool. I like the shape of it, and of course I had to go with the teal color. And I don't know how well you can see it on here, but if you can't really see the edge detail, go to the Turtle Made Etsy shop and look at the detail on the side, because it's pretty fabulous. And I got a pink shaft. So it is a bottom whorl spindle, which I haven't used a bottom whorl yet, but I am looking forward to learning. I know you have to do like the half hitch at the top, so I figured there's YouTube for that. So when I get Sarah sent off to hers and she gets hers, then I will start playing around and learning a bottom whorl spindle. So I think that's all except for my pretty package. So let me make sure, okay, I can show you this side. So Kathy, who is another lady that comes to our VKN, my VKN, and I know she gets into, I think, the Two Tangled Skein or VKNs all week. And so I met her through the VKN, and I was talking about doing the giveaway at 100 members, and she was working on a project. I think it was fingerless gloves. She had started them on a VKN, and she was working on double point needles and was just having an awful time. So she's like, I'm done with double points, and she went to magic looping. So I know in this box there are some double point needles that are still in their package for the 100 member giveaway. But she also informed me that she may have put a little something extra for me. So, like I love to do, is I love to open my packages on camera. So please don't mind me as I try to cut into the box without cutting anything, because I don't quite know what's in here. And it's not really wanting to cooperate with me here, so we're gonna, sorry for the long pause, y'all. We'll just kind of keep on cutting and making some goofy faces. There we go. Box open. Air packets. Those are always silly. Ooh, I see pretties. So, of course, she sent the needles for the giveaway. We've got some size 3 in Clover, size 3 in Knitter's Pride Dreams, and also size 1 in square double point needles. I don't think oh, they're the collage. So I've heard good things and bad things about those, so whoever wins those, I'm be enticed to hear, because I'm not a DPN user either. And oh my gosh, I love you. She sent me some Madeline Tosh in the Cousteau. It's the Madeline Tosh Twist Lights. This is my first skein of Madeline Tosh. I have wanted to buy this, and I have wanted to work with it for the longest time. And it is totally my colors. Look at that. Oh, I really hope this shows. My screen dimmed out, so I'm not quite sure what all y'all can see. But yeah. Kathy, I love you. Oh, I really hope she comes to the VKN tonight so I can thank her. Oh, Madeline Tosh, my sweet little baby. Oh, this may be one of those skeins that I just sit and pet for a little while, because now I'm going to have to find the perfect pattern to go for my first skein of Madeline Tosh. I feel so loved. I know if you guys have been watching me for a little bit, you guys have known that I've got some health issues going on, and I don't really want to go into super detail. If you want to know a little bit more, you can go back and watch the previous episodes, or feel free to shoot me a message on Ravelry. I just don't want to go too deep into it too many times on the podcast. But the special people in my life, you know who you are. I absolutely adore you. I love you all. I love all my viewers. I love that you guys keep coming back and watching. I know my episodes are really short and very sporadic right now, but I'm hoping once health situation kind of gets figured out a little bit more, I can kind of get back onto more of a regular schedule. But I think that's all that I have for you guys today, so I'm gonna say keep on stitching, y'all.